Ible. He's having a great run of success at the present time. And as I said, the Carpetbagger, unusual name for a horse, but he's been able to win very impressively and continue his very good recent form. Takes us away from race 3. Race 4 due to go here right on 3 o'clock. We'll head up to charge here at Townsville.
Change of tactics today to be ridden on speed or right there with them today overseas. He's been a handy galloper, but we haven't seen the best of him for a little while. So change of tactics may help. Doesn't look to be much speed in the race. 2's out. 3 is Vienna Rain from the Roy Chalemi stable. Morgan Butler to ride gate 260 kilos. Horse that's probably been a little bit mixed in form. Does prefer the mile. A winner here 4 starts back in 0 to 65 grade. We'll see him a chance here. 4 is Copenguy from the Roy Chalemi stable. Rachel Shred to ride gate 159.5 kilos. Blinkers off again. Bomb the start first up at Cairns over the 950. So total forgive there. Quickly goes out to the mile. That's probably got a query about it. 5 Higher Love from the Murray Young stable at Townsville. Graham Cleese to ride gate 859 kilos. Son of Love conquers all. He's been a good campaigner. He was a winner at Bowen 2 back. He boxed on well at the tab meeting there, and he was good behind Vienna Rain here 3 starts back. 6 Choir Boy from the Janelle Ryan stable at Atherton. Ryan Wiggins to ride gate 10, 58 kilos. I think he's well placed in a race like this. He does relish getting out to a trip, this horse. He was behind Vienna Rain here 3 starts back. He's just been battling away his last couple at Cairns. 7 is Shadow Goddess from the Tracy Simmons stable at Mackay. Jackson Murphy to ride gate 7, 55 kilos. I know he's been frustrating, this horse, but his good form is very, very solid, particularly around the 1,600 metres. If he can step away in a race like this today, I think he's a good chance. He's run a Bowen last start, was good over 1,800 metres, but this is definitely a trip for him. 8 Do Well Legend from the Ben Williams stable. Nathan Thomas to ride gate 4, 54.5 kilos. Son of Nodal singled out, who just hasn't been seeing out his trips lately. He's probably better back to the mile, but I want to wait for him to do a bit more. 9 is Prince Akeem from the Graham Hughes stable. Dale Evans to ride gate 5, 54.5 kilos. A good run at Cairns last start over the 1,900 metres. He's got a good record here at Townsville, this horse, albeit he hasn't won. 6 starts for the 5 minor placings. 10 Lady of Fortune from the David Reynolds stable. Jason Taylor to ride gate 3 on the minimum. Cairns winner 2 starts back. In easier grade than this. Battled on okay there over the 1,900 last start, but has been very competitive of recent times. And the 11 to round them out is Anselmo from the Troy Clive stable. Talia Fenlon to ride gate 6, takes 2 off down to 52 kilos. Good run at Mackay, 3 starts back in 55 grade. Battled on there okay, but this is a lot tougher. That's a look at them from the mounting yard. Race 3 at Townsville. Overseas has been very well supported. He opened early markets $17, $6 this morning. He's now into $4.20 favourite here, and those change of tactics to go forward today on overseas. This is race 3, a benchmark 65 over the mile. I've gone shopping some value here, 7, 9, 5 and 6. The 7 Shadow Goddess, I think his runs have been very good. He's overdue a win again, and he's a capable type, particularly over the mile trip. And he's been here twice before, but he's never been over the mile at Townsville. I think this is going to set well for him, Shadow Goddess. I just want to see him step away and have himself maybe midfield or a little closer than not out the back anyway. Then I've got the 9, Prince Akeem, who's racing really well. The mile suits at Townsville, keep him very safe. 5 Higher Loves, racing well, competitive, and should be right in a race like this with Cleese aboard. And the 6 Choir Boy I thought was a good chance here. He's probably going to relish the mile at Townsville. 7, 9, 5, 6. I've left overseas out. Capable horse, but I just don't know about the mile with him. But, those change of tactics, and the money's arrived. As I said, opened $17, $6 this morning, $4.20. Now $4.40. So equal favourite now. Well, we've got 3 equal favourites. Have a look at this. 6 Choir Boy, $4.60 to $4.40. And you've also got the 9 Prince Akeem, 5 into $4.40. So they're backing everything here. 3 equal favourites, 1, 6 and 9 at $4.40. Then you've got the 3 there, which is Vienna Rain, $6 to $4.80. There's money for him as well. There's money for the 10, Lady of Fortune at a price 19 into 12. So mine, it's a little bit rough, but give it strength. Here's Tony Wode for the 3rd at Townsville.
Overseas up, they're set to go. Ready now. Mile the journey. Off and running, and Kapangi wanted to stand there and he missed it a kick by a couple of lengths again today, but given a liven up by Rachel Shred, quickly picks up some ground. Meantime, Overseas bounced very quickly, goes to the front from Choir Boy getting to second, but pulling very hard, and there's no speed on. 2 lengths to Higher Love, and Vienna Rain's over on the rails, and Prince Akeem. 3 wide is improving around them with this lack of pace. About 2 lengths further back in the field, Lady of Fortune, followed by Kapangi. 2 to Do Well, Legend, Ansel Mo, and Shadow Goddess last of all. It's been a dawdle early, but a bit more speed now as Prince Akeem rattles around the outside and goes to the front, passing the 1,000. Puts out about 2.5 lengths to Overseas, who gets a great trail. About 3 lengths away, Choir Boy travelling better from Vienna Rain. 1.5 lengths Higher Love from Kapangi, Lady of Fortune, Ansel Mo right up on the bit. And then came Do Well, Legend, and last of all, Shadow Goddess. Turning to the Stewart Drive side, they come down towards the 750, and it's Prince Akeem, the leader, a 1/2 length to Overseas, popping off the fence to go to the leaders' quarters. About 1.5 lengths further back was Choir Boy, followed by Vienna Rain, who's had a good run. Then Lady of Fortune creeping forward from Higher Love, Kapangi, Do Well, Legend, Ansel Mo, and Shadow Goddess. Down to the turn, Prince Akeem about a 1/2 in front, Overseas second, and flushing out now, Vienna Rain makes a run with Lady of Fortune next. They were followed by Choir Boy back on the fence from Kapangi. 250 to go, and in front, Prince Akeem. The outside, Vienna Rain trying hard, Lady of Fortune, and Choir Boy is starting to weave his way through. Prince Akeem in front, Choir Boy trying hard, and so's Overseas, but Prince Akeem gets in by a length to Overseas. Choir Boy third, fourth not sure, Higher Love there with Lady of Fortune. Ansel Mo, Vienna Rain didn't come on, Kapangi didn't come on, and well back in the field then came Do Well, Legend, and Shadow Goddess, the last one home. So Prince Akeem.
Dale Evans took the race by the scruff of the neck, and good to see him back in the winner's stall. Well, it's only second meeting back, Dale Evans. He's been off the scene for about 3 years, and I tell you what, he can ride, and he pulled their pants down there because they just wanted to dawdle in front, no tempo. He said, all right, let's go. Prince Akeem, and just kept going there for Graham Hughes and Dale Evans. Well done to them. 9, Prince Akeem. The one Overseas, well, he was there. He was a funny sort of run for him. He was there. He just sort of let the leader go, and then he wanted to drop the bit a bit, but then he came again. His effort was okay. The 6, Choir Boy, was there to win the race, but couldn't. And the 5, Higher Love, battled on as he always does here. Shadow Goddess, so he just doesn't want to get himself into the race, does he? 9, 1, 6, and 5, the numbers. Well done, Graham Hughes and Dale Evans. They take out the third at Townsville with Prince Akeem. We'll take a short break on Sky Thoroughbred Central. On the other side, Mick and Ben with Race 4 at Dubbo.
Cards there at Townsville.
Welcome back to Townsville for race 8, the lucky last. It's one of those days I'm going to call it the Get Out Stakes. For me, it's a Ladbrokes Mates Mode benchmark 55. It's over 1,400 metres. Here's the one victory for us from the Tony Comerford stable at Townsville. Ryan Wiggins to ride, gate 360, 1.5 kilos. Good win at Cairns last start in Class 1 grade. He deserved that too. I just probably think this is a little bit harder for him, but he's in winning form now. 2 is Mista Omega from the Georgie Holt stable at Townsville. Ash Butler to ride, gate 7, 61 kilos. He's threatening to win one, this horse. I thought his run at Home Hill was good 2 starts back. He was fair enough at Bowen, so watch for him to be chiming home if they run along in front. 4, Conquering Judas from the Graham Hughes stable. Carl Spry to ride, gate 10, 60.5 kilos. First up, he generally takes a few runs to hit his peak, this horse. He's very capable over the mile and further, so I prefer to watch him today. 6 is Impardu from the Owen Bailey stable at Cairns. Graham Cleese to ride, gate 4, 59.5 kilos. This horse was well supported at a big price last start, and he didn't disappoint too. He was a good winner at Cairns. He beat home Bakersfield. Tougher here for him. 7 is Seafeld from the David Reynolds stable. Jason Taylor to ride, gate 11, 59.5 kilos. He's the younger half-brother to Buffering. There you go. He winds up in Townsville with David Reynolds, formerly with Rob Heathcote. He threatened to win a few down there. He just sort of struggled this preparation. He got back, ran on. He needs tempo on, but, gee, I think he's a real knockout chance here. He'll find this a lot easier. 8 is Private Cheetah from the Derby Amos stable at Home Hill. Nathan Thomas to ride, gate 16, 58.5 kilos. He's had the 4 runs back, going okay too, this horse, so up on speed, definitely one to consider. 9 is Putsch from the Albie Molino stable. Scott Sheargold to ride, gate 1, 58.5 kilos. Winkers first time, blinkers off, tongue tie off, tongue control and lugging bit goes on the first time. He just didn't fire first up at Bowen, plenty of gear changes today. 10 is Amathion from the Roy Chalemi stable. Morgan Butler to ride, gate 5, 58 kilos. A good run of Cairns 3 starts back. Was up on speed at Atherton last start. Just didn't quite finish it off. 11, Plucker Khan from the Troy Clive stable. Tessa Townsend to ride from gate 13. Takes 2 kilos off down to 56. Good run of Bowen at the tab, meaning 2 starts back behind Star Hatton. Just a fair effort last start at Mackay. The 12 is Baby Guinness from the Lindsay Hatch stable. Adrian Late to ride, gate 2, 57 kilos. I thought she had a chance to win at Mackay last start. She found one better. I just question whether she's genuine enough, but look, she's capable. I think if everything goes her way, she's a strong chance here for sure. The 13 from this moment from the Michael Gainey stable, Isabella Tay to ride, gate 8, takes 2 off down to 54.5. Good win at Mackay, 2 starts back, led them up and kept going. Battled on okay there last start. 14 is Little Red Pepper from the Renee Lewin stable. Jackson Murphy to ride, gate 12, 56.5 kilos. She's a mare that's got a good finish if things go her way. She'll need some tempo on for this, so 15 Lightheadedness from the Peter Cullen stable. Pietro Romeo to ride, gate 15, 56 kilos. Good win at Bowen last start. Has found a liking for Bowen. She's got a nice finish on her, but this is tougher. 17 Bells Approaching from the Matt Adonetto stable at Ingham. James Baker to ride, gate 14, 57 kilos. Just not doing enough this son of Dawn approach, you wouldn't think, but this is a little easier than recent races. The 18 Zoo Hope from the Joe Russo stable at Ingham. David Sparks to ride, gate 9, 56.5 kilos. Tongue control bit the first time. Mount Isa winner 2 starts back and wasn't disgraced behind Coonunga Hill at Cairns last start, 1400. And the 19 to round them out is Newitt from the David Jones stable at Gatton, gate 6, 56 kilos. A horse that probably hasn't been doing enough in a few runs up this way. That's a look at them from the mounting yard. Race 8 at Townsville. Victory for us, one of the better bets of the day. It's been $3.10 today into $1.95, the toppy here. Victory for us, race 8. It's a benchmark 55 over 1,400 metres. I thought this was great value, 7 to 12 and 1. Buffering's little brother, or half-brother, Seafeld. He's been getting back and running on okay in much, much stronger races in the southeast corner. So I think today there's a good tempo on here, and that's going to suit. He's out to $23. That's a crazy price about him in this. So even race, I've gone the 7, value special, Seafeld, to get us out of trouble. Or me anyway. 2, Mista Omega. He's busting to win a race, and he can here, Mista Omega. He's a get back and run on horse as well. The 12, Baby Guinness. She'll be up there from the good gate. She just didn't quite let down that last little bit at Mackay last start. And the 1, Victory for us. Look, I can see why there's money. I'm surprised how short he is, though, into $1.95. 7 to 12 and 11. A value special to wind us out at $23. I thought I'd just shorten up. I speak of Seafeld, so there you go. Favourite here is Victory for us, 310 to 195 over the 2, Mista Omega, who's 460 out to 5. Baby Guinness, the 12, has been $4 out to 650. Look at the jump out to the rest, headed by the 8, which is Private Cheetah, $21 into $18. Nothing happening with the 7 here, so I'm surprised, but that's okay. We're not too concerned. Here's Tony Wode for the last at Townsville.
And we're just about set. Big field out of the 1,400-metre chute. Been blustery conditions all day long, and it's pretty windy over there at the start. But Impardu just getting a little stirred up. Comes up to the gates. Goes in, they're set to run. Ready for the last. Impardu climbing high, gets back down. Light blinking. Ready. Racing in the last. Zoo Hope a little slow out of the gates with Seafeld, and Plucker Khan goes back with Conquering Judas. And Baby Guinness out quickly. Lightheadedness going fast, and from this moment is going very quickly. Mista Omega got away to a flyer today. He's up running fourth with Little Red Pepper outside it. 2 lengths further back was Victory for us, followed by Private Cheetah. And then came Newitt, and about 3 lengths to Impardu, Bells Approaching, and Mathion together. About 3 lengths further back as they go to that next bend was was Putsch was on the inside. Zoo Hope's on a wide run from Conquering Judas, a gap further back as they come to the fight by Seafeld, and Plucker Khan's last of all. They're stringing right out, and from this moment comes down to the 750, a length in front of Lightheadedness, Little Red Pepper and Baby Guinness the rail, a length and a half to Mista Omega, niggled at. Then came Private Cheetah. Victory for Us is travelling strongly just behind them, and he's about to hook wide. They were followed further back by Bells Approaching, and then as they come to the turn, behind those was Private Cheetah, who's out very wide, and further back as they start to turn for home was Newitt. Into the straight, 300 to go from this moment. Lightheadedness, Baby Guinness gets the run, and Mista Omega's joining in. Victory for Us is getting to the outside. Mista Omega hit the front with 100 to go. Victory for Us is trying to run him down. Mista Omega in front of Victory for Us, and Mista Omega breaks through, wins by a length and a half to Victory for Us. Private Cheetah third, fourth in Baby Guinness, then Lightheadedness, followed by, from this moment, a Maytheon, Bells Approaching, Little Red Pepper, and further back then came Impardu, followed by Conquering Judas and Zoo Hope. Behind those was Newitt, then Plucker Khan, and one of the last to pull up is Seafeld, and one crossing the line a long last was Putsch. Mista Omega.
He was busting to win a race, Mista Omega, given a lovely steer by Butler. He was over the top. The tempo was on. Gee, they spread out. They were all over the place. Must have been 20 lengths between them there. And Mista Omega just launched at the right time, stole the march on Victory for Us, and he was too good. So 2-1 will stand by. It is the 8 who has run third, Private Cheetah, for Darby Amos, a good effort. And the 12, Baby Guinness. She was there to win again. But again, she's found a few better. Gee, Seafeld, he just never tracked into the race at all. That just summed up my day. But not to worry. They're on again tomorrow. 2, 1, 8 and 12. Round out the day's racing at Townsville track. Well, it's great to be back at Townsville. I thought the track had played superb. No excuses for my performance on the track anyway. 2, 1, 8, 12, the last at Townsville. Done and dusted. But for now, we are going to head to Keane Dickens and Damien Courtney to set the scene for a great night of racing ahead at the Sunshine Coast. There's one down there, but still plenty to come. And I will catch you from the Sunshine Coast on Sunday. Looking forward to working with Damien. But here's Keane and Damien to set the scene for tonight.
Good evening and welcome.